podcast host blasted online after saying men shouldn't watch their wives give birth as it quote-unquote ruins sex lives. I don't have kids. I have young nieces and nephews. But I will say this, if I did have kids and my missus was just about to give birth, the last thing on my mind would be, like, if I had the option to watch her give birth, the last thing on my mind would be the fact that it might ruin my sex life if I choose to watch her give birth. Like, that wouldn't be in my mind at that time. I'll be focused on her, making sure she's doing okay, and that I'm being as supportive as I possibly can be for her. As I'm sure many men would probably be in that situation. So this is a weird comment to make, in my opinion. I'm curious to know how you feel about this. People are flooding to social media in outrage over digital creator Elijah Schaffer, I don't know how you pronounce his last name, warning more harm than good comes out of men watching their partner give birth. The fact he runs a podcast called Slightly Offensive with Elijah Schaffer doesn't even begin to scratch the surface of the host giving his very much unfiltered opinions on controversial topics. And I don't know anything about this guy, by the way. I've never heard of an episode of his podcast. I've never heard of his name before. My guess is, I'm guessing this guy is basically like a gimmick where he covers controversial topics, gives his opinion on these controversial topics, whatever they may be, and through those topics and his opinions, he gets clicks, views, downloads, all that kind of stuff, and then he basically makes a shit ton of cash from that. So my guess is that's probably his gimmick. Again, I don't know anything about this guy, so I could be completely wrong. But it wouldn't surprise me either in this day and age. And one topic he decided to give an opinion on was the subject of childbirth. Schaffer took to his account on the 10th of October to share what he already anticipated would be an unpopular opinion. He tweeted, "I do not think men should watch the baby come out of their wife like this. Totally can ruin sex lives and poorly change dynamics of seduction etc. between two spouses. See more harm than good come out of this. We need stricter gender divides. Stop doing this." Okay, so what about the woman that does give birth? You know, sometimes when a woman gives birth, after a while, she might feel unconfident in herself. She might not feel sexy. She might not feel beautiful. She might not feel... So I'd love to know what he feels about that in terms of an opinion. Because she might not, you know, your missus, your wife, whoever it may be, she might not want to be sexual ever again after giving birth. You know, that might... Because that's just how she feels. And plus, when you're looking after a child as well, like a newborn, you're both going to be stressed out. You're both taking care of a newborn baby. The newborn baby might not sleep at night, might not be eating all the time. You know, such things when it comes to babies. Schaffer added in the comments, the hospital person has a clock chair in the corner for a reason. And now the fun part begins, because now we get to see what people on Twitter and other probably social media platforms feel about this guy's comments. Or his opinion rather. One user wrote, seeing your child born is not traumatizing, it's amazing. I've played catch for 3 kids, and it hasn't changed anything except increase my love for my wife, who went through an incredible sacrifice to bring our kids into the world. Beautifully said right there, in my opinion. Beautifully said. When you bring a child into the universe, it's beautiful. Like, that's your child, that's your son, that's your daughter. Like, your life basically changes for the better during that moment. Like, it changes you as an individual. Again, I don't have kids, but I imagine it would change you as an individual. There's so many things to look forward to in life. Now you got a baby. You get to play, as this guy said, you can play catch with your kid. You can introduce your kid to your favourite music, your favourite film, your favourite hobby. Take them to all these nice places like theme parks and whatever else. You get to share this incredible experience with your loved one, hopefully, and other family members as well. Like, so I don't really understand this guy's gimmick. And like I said, like, I don't imagine somebody's feelings when when watching a wife giving birth, like, oh man, I don't want to watch this. This is going to ruin my sex drive. This is not going to make me want to have sex ever again. Like, no. Like, that's the last thing that's going through your mind when you're watching your missus or your wife give birth. Another person said, I watched all 3 of my kids in terms of the pregnancy, in terms of the birth. Still, I still think my wife's sexy, another added. A third commented, I disagree. That moment is what separates boys from men. Absolutely. Watching it made me increase the amount of respect for my wife due to the work and pain she endured to get to that moment. And B, looking into my kid's eyes for the first time was absolutely priceless. Another beautiful comment right there. Looking into a child's eyes for the very first time. You don't get that again. You don't get that special moment again. So when you actually get to witness that, it's just unimaginable, you can't even probably describe that experience in some ways. And think about this as well. You know, imagine all the pregnancies during COVID, back in the early days of COVID, you know, back in 2020, when, and also post 2020 as well, but mostly when it was really, really bad, like in 2020, where women did have to go to hospital to give birth, but husbands were not allowed in the delivery room because of social distancing and whatever else. So they could not watch their child be born for the first time. They could not be there to support their partner in a sense that they would have liked to. So imagine what they were probably going through, as well as the wife as well as for like the wife or girlfriend at the time who would have been struggling and would have probably wanted their partner to really be there. But unfortunately, because of the world crisis, they couldn't really be there too. And a medical journal has even highlighted the positives which can arise out of a man being present at the birth of his child on him and also the other parent and the baby. An article added, fathers attending the birth of their baby, views, attentions and needs. Popularizing Anjog looks into how parental involvement during birth can impact all those in the process. All those involved in the process. Not only can a dad being there while the baby is being born lead to both positive outcomes for the mom, including a reduction in labour length, decreased emotional distress and reduced pain medication, it also promotes parental-infant attachment, a positive childbirth experience and an easier transition to fatherhood. While it notes it's not always suitable for a father to be present at the birth, and he may choose not to be, that's fair enough, ultimately nowhere does it mention a father ended up feeling less attracted to the partner as a result of having been involved. So I've given you the story itself on what this guy has had to say, other people's opinions on what he's had to say in terms of men being in the delivery room, in terms of the partner giving birth, whether or not they should actually be there when the partner is giving birth. Now to bring something to you guys. What do you think about this story? Do you think he has a point? Do you think it's a load of rubbish? Are you a fan of this guy's podcast? Is he trying to be controversial on purpose? Or is this just one of those people that's very unopinionated and doesn't really hold back on what he has to say regardless of how people will feel about it? Personally, to me, I think this guy's a dickhead, regardless if he's just playing a gimmick or whether or not he's actually being truthful to what he feels. Regardless, let me know your feelings down below. And until next time, take care, stay safe, I'll see you guys next time. Bye bye for now.